بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والليل إذا يغشى والنهار إذا تجلى وما خلق الذكر والأنثى إن سعيكم لشتى فأما من أعطى واتقى وصدق بالحسنى فسنيسره لليسرى وأما من بخل واستغنى وكذب بالحسنى فسنيسره للعسرى وما يغني عنه ماله إذا تردى إن علينا للهدى وإن لنا للآخرة والأولى فأنذرتكم نارا تلظى لا يصلاها إلا الأشقى الذي كذب وتولى وسيجنبها الأتقى الذي يؤتي ماله يتزكى وما لأحد عنده من نعمة تجزى إلا ابتغاء وجه ربه الأعلى ولسوف يرضى.
Hey, Assalamualaikum. I'm gonna tell you guys about a story behind Surah Layl. So Layl is an Arabian word which means the night. So this surah is the 92nd surah of the Quran, and it has 21 verses. And this surah is the first time to be revealed in the Mecca. And this surah actually tells you guys about the contrasting two types of people, the charitable and the mislead that happened, and then describes of each of their characteristics. So from the first ayah to the fourth ayah, it tells you guys about the oath by the nature of various objects. And then from the 5 to the 13th ayah, it tells you guys about the obedient, blessed, and the covetous accursed. And to the 14 to 16 ayah, it told you guys about the covetous threatened with hellfire. So to the 17th and till the 21 ayah, it tells you guys about the true believers shall be rewarded hereafter. So as I said before, that Allah has begins the chapter by swearing a series of oaths, and it means that by the night when it envelops the world, and by the day when it illuminates, and finally by himself has created male and female. And from this we can see that how the activities and the aims are engaged in by both of the male and females, and are in respect to the moral nature and widely divergent. In this ayah, it asks us to be a good servant to Allah SWT and serve ourselves to Him. As I said before, for someone with taqwa, we would refer everything backwards in origin and forwards in destiny to Allah, as we know that Allah is the source of their goodness as well as its goals or purpose. Thank you.
So, Assalamualaikum. I will talk about aura. What is aura? The word aura refers to any part of body that is prohibited from being revealed to other men and women. It could also be defined as any part of body which are obligated to be covered. According to Khatib al-Sharbini, aura is anything that is prohibited to be seen. So this condition should be made to fulfill the requirement of covering aura of Muslim men and female according to Muslim scholar from the point of view of fiqh. So the first part is covering the aura area. So the part of body that men should cover are between the navel to the knee, while for women the part of body that should to be covered are the entire body except the face and the wrist to the fingertips. So the requirement to cover themselves is mandatory for Muslim men and women. So a Muslim woman should know the aura between the other Muslim women, in front of non-Muslim women, and in front of males. So for the aura in front of the other Muslim women, such as family member, relative, and friend, is between the navel to the knees. It is permissible for a Muslim woman to reveal part of her body apart from the area restricted in front of Muslim women and Muslim slave. So the second one is aura with non-Muslim women. It's all part of the body except for the part of the body that can be seen while walking and doing housework. It is permissible for a Muslim woman to show her face, her head, neck, arms, and hands to the feet, right up to the knee. If doing so could lead to the slander of lust, the entire body except face and palm should be covered. So the last part is the Muslim woman aura in front of male. So male member of the family as well as certain male relative like muhrim is between the navel to the knee. According to the Shafi'i section, it is permissible for other part of her body to be seen with the condition that it will not cause any slander of lust. If it can cause the possibility of slander and lust, then the entire body except of her face and her palm is her aura. The aura of a Muslim woman which is Nabi male, like all male who are not her muhrim, is her entire body, including her face and palms, whether she has reached puberty or otherwise. If her face and her palm can cause slander or lust, they are considered as a aura as well. It is permissible for a Muslim woman to reveal her entire anatomy in front of their male child. If it does not cause any lust, if it can cause any lust, then she must cover her body except for her face and her palms.
Okay, the benefit that we can get from Taaruf between male and female based on this surah are: first, we can prevent damage on soul and moral. A person who behaves badly when associating will cause the heart to be black with a sin that she do. Act of immorality make it difficult for a person to get close with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Therefore, with care about ta'aruf between male and female can help us from damage of moral and soul. 2. Ta'aruf also can avoid adultery because free association without any bond and limitation will be the cause of adultery among the human beings. Therefore, as a Muslim, it is common to subdue to the view so that lust and desire can be controlled, because Iblis is always trying to get people to commit with sin. 3. We can also avoid acts that contradict with the law of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, because of it will bring harm and damage the dignity of self, society, and country. Without dignity, a person will not be respected and lose self-esteem, and society and country will also be affected by free association. 4. Everyone who violates the command of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will lead to the wrath of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the life that is always in anxiety, restless, and there are no peace of mind because of the result of the what he do.
We move on to how to implement the Surah Al-Layl in our daily life. The lesson we get from the Surah Al-Layl we can implement in our daily life. So the first point is when we want to balance fears and hope. The best is of productivity advice is to fear in Allah in everything you do. It's not wrong to be afraid of something. People need to be motivated out of fear by His punishment as well as out of His great hope in His reward. And let this balance be reflected in all your effort. All you need to do is to keep begging Him. When you fear, pray for Allah. As a Muslim, we know all the words come in from Allah. to give a lesson. That is why people need to be aware with Allah, and also hope Allah will help us to find the right pathway. So next, don't ever think you are self-sufficient. When people have a power, well, often they think are not in need of Allah, because in their mind wealth represent power. On numerous disease, therefore is istagna, thinking we are free of need. In your daily life, keep reminding yourself you need Allah for everything, and stay humble no matter how much money you earn, how many friends you have, or how beautiful you are. Everything you have right now is belongs to Allah. You need to be grateful in whatever Allah gave us. So the third point is know that guidelines come from Allah only. Some believers become proud of their good deeds. Know that you cannot get a guidance by a deeds alone. You always have to keep begging for Allah for hidayah. That is why in Surah Al-Fatihah we Muslims keep saying, Ihdinas siratal mustaqim, guide us on the straight pathway. So say this with your heart each time you pray. People need to believe Allah is the best guideline for us because He is the creator. The last point, know where are you heading. Each of us is on a journey either toward to Jannah or Jahannam, either toward Akhirah or losing themselves in dunya. They are constantly striving, some to wealthy and build a big mansion or enjoy the fancy car, while others are striven tirelessly to earn a good deeds and perform extra action of ibadah. And then there are others who want to please Allah but find the dunya too. So they fluctuate between the performance, good deeds, and falling into sin. That is why it is important to know where are you heading, to Jannah or opposite. It is okay to focus on dunya, but don't to focus on it until you forget the akhirat, because akhirat is the permanent place we will stay.
Next is about some of the lesson from Surah Al-Layl. Before I explain about the lesson, I want to tell you about what is wealth. Some would say the riches of this life is because of cars, phone, and houses. Others would say their wealth is the spiritual happiness they feel in their relationship with the others. There's a surah in the Quran that explains the link to your deeds and your wealth in this life and the next. It's time to learn how to be productive through Surah Al-Layl. In this week's central ayah, Allah Azza wa Jal says, certainly your efforts and deeds are diverse. By the night as it envelops, and by the day as it appears in the brightness, and by Him who created male and female, certainly your efforts and deeds are diverse. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal-layli iza yakhsha, wan-nahari iza tajalla, wa ma khalaqa zakara wal-unsa, inna sayakum la shatta. Surah Al-Layl from 1 to 4. Okay, the first lesson that we could learn from this surah is know who deserves your best. Look at these amazing things Allah Azza wa Jalla created. The darkness of the night and the brightness of the day, and the male and female as two opposites, not only in humans, but in animals and plants as well. Know that no matter how dark the night, the brightness of the day will follow, and let this inspire you to better your problems and stress, knowing that after difficulty comes ease. The next one is keep renewing your attention. Allah say, Inna sayakum lashatta. Certainly your efforts and deeds are diverse. Sayakum comes from the word sa'i, which means walking or pacing fast. And when something important is concerning you, you walk fast. What do your deeds show of what is important to you? There are huge differences in the deeds and works of people. The energy spent in them and their goals, are they for Allah Azza wa Jal or for a temporary objective in this world? Whatever you do for Allah will stay forever. A good tip to keep renewing your iman and intention is to repeatedly say during the day, La ilaha illallah, as for him who gives in charity and keeps his duty to Allah and fears Him, and believe in Al-Husna, we will make smooth for him the path of peace. Surah Al-Layl 5-7. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى وَاتَّقَى وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَى. The next one is about check your expenditures. Looking at the money you spend, how much is for the sake of Allah? Wealth can be blessing and a trial. How can you turn your material wealth into a spiritual wealth? in the hereafter, and purify your soul instead of corrupting it by paying zakat, by spending for the needs of your family, by giving voluntary charity like sedekah with your time and money, and even by doing dakwah. Look at your expenditures and order them according to priority for your hereafter. The fourth one is balance fear and hope. One of the best pieces of productivity advice is to fear Allah in everything you do. Be motivated out of fear of His punishment as well as out of good hope in His reward. And let this balance be reflected in all your effort. Some people say it seems I can never stop sinning, or it's so hard to stay on the right path. And although they know the good part, some still willing to go for the bad part, while others will follow the good part while they know the evil part. Know that one thing for sure, when you make that sincere effort and strive for Him, Allah will make the part easy for you. All you need to do is keep begging Him. But he who is greedy, miser, and thinks himself self-sufficient, and give the lie to Al-Husna, we will make smooth for him the path for evil. And what will his wealth benefit him when he goes down? 8 to 11 lie. وَأَمَّا مَنْ بَخِلَ وَاسْتَغْنَى وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْعُسْرَى وَمَنْ يُغْنِ عَنْهُ مَالُهُ إِذَا تَرَدَّى. Lastly, don't expect a reward from anyone but Allah. I can't believe I did all of that for him and he treats me like this. I went out of my way for her and she doesn't even do this for me. Sound familiar? Instead of expecting rewards from others, try to focus on your reward with Allah whenever you do something for others, so you won't get disappointed so quickly. Only Allah is Ash-Shakur, the most appreciative of your intention and deeds. That's all for my part. Thank you.